In a little more than 24 hours from now, bars, breweries, and wineries that do not serve food will have to shut down again. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Barbara Lee Edwards.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. This after the county reported its single-day high for new cases today and traced several outbreaks to bars and restaurants. News 8's Abby Alford talked to breweries that are fighting to find a way to stay open.
North Park is filled with breweries that don't serve food or they have limited food service. So under this new health order, it will shut them down. And as you can imagine, they are frustrated and disappointed.
Another blow to the brewery industry.
I understand that there's a global pandemic going on and that we want to follow the rules. However, it would be nice if we were trusted enough to ensure that this is happening.
Alana Shear owns Poorhouse Brewing Company in North Park, which opened 2 weeks ago when standalone breweries and bars reopened. She spent $20,000 to adhere to the safety guidelines so she could reopen.
It's just hard because we went through and took the time to implement all of these safe guidelines, and now we're told that they weren't enough and we have to shut down again.
The shutdown comes a day after the governor ordered bars to shut down in 17 counties. San Diego was not included. On Monday, health officials reported the highest number of COVID-19 cases in one day. Of the 7 outbreaks since the beginning, 27% are at bars and restaurants, and in the last week, that's where most of the triggers are traced. 22% of the county's cases are ages 20 to 29 years old. The timing also comes the week of the 4th of July, where bars are usually crowded. Supervisor Nathan Fletcher says this is not an overreaction.
Simple reality that alcohol consumption impairs judgment and may lead to less compliance with physical distancing guidelines.
But some enjoying an IPA don't think non-food bars should be singled out.
I don't know if it's not enough or maybe overstepping a bit.
We're still able to go out, we're still able to get food and get beers. So what's it matter if you have to order a beer, order food in order to get the beer?
Supervisor Fletcher says that if breweries serve food, it must be seated. You can't stand around, which puts breweries in more of a bind.
We welcome all food vendors. We're trying to get as creative as possible. We want to stay open, and we want to get through this together safely.
Bars, wineries, and breweries that do not serve food are ordered to shut down Wednesday at midnight.
Thanks, Abby. We'd like to hear from you tonight. We're asking our viewers, do you agree with the county's decision to close bars? You can let us know by going to cbs8.com/vote, or you can weigh in on our News 8 app right now. And I know a lot of you don't feel this way on Twitter, but our poll respondents right now, 95% are saying yes, they do agree with the decision, and only 5% say no right now. You can still chime in, and please do. We'll bring you the results a little later in our newscast.
The decision to close San Diego's bars comes as the county reports more than 400 confirmed cases for the 5th straight day. A record single-day high of 498 cases were reported today. Of the more than 6,900 tests reported, 7% were positive. That raises the county's 14-day rolling average to 4.1%. Hospitalizations are also up. 132 people have been admitted in the last week. No new deaths were reported. That number remains at 361. Poway Unified is planning to reopen for the upcoming school year, and parents will have a big choice to make. The school district announced that it is offering both on-campus classes and virtual learning. But parents must decide between the two by mid-July, and once they've committed, that student is locked in for the year to keep everything consistent. School is set to begin on August 19th. There's an effort in the North County to help businesses along South Coast Highway 101 in downtown Encinitas. News 8's Steve Fiorina shows us the first steps being taken on the Shared Streets program.
This strip of Coast Highway will see new construction beginning tomorrow. 1 lane of traffic each way instead of 2, and there are more changes on the horizon.
Parking stalls will be pushed back 7 feet with concrete wheel stops. And there will be barricades erected and large box trees set down for safety, creating more room for sidewalk dining and other shops to show their wares outside, allowing for better social distancing and hopefully bringing in more customers.
We love this idea We would like to come up to have a little more space, have a more seating, have more community come in and enjoy the table, the sitting outside.
We are very happy. We are very excited, considering we lost almost more than the 55% of our place to due to the restriction. This is give us a good opportunity to bring more income.
The merchants aren't alone in their enthusiasm.
I think it'll be great for the local businesses around here to be able to open it up. I mean, it's great. We're coming down here to see a movie down at La Paloma, but I know it's great to be able to see more space for the restaurants to open up and bring business back.
One block is getting the treatment for now. It's between D and E streets, and more could be added. The plan is to keep the sidewalk shopping expansion until COVID-19 is no longer a pressing threat. We talked to several people strolling down Coast Highway. The only negative comment was, why did it take so long? But the consensus was strongly positive.
No, I think it's a great idea. I think it's exactly what we need for the town.
Encinitas should have all this ready by this weekend, the 4th of July. National City also planning some street closures, but that's for outdoor activity, promote more exercise. Steve Fiorina in Encinitas. Back to you.
Thanks, Steve. 4th of July revelers are being advised to stay away from big parties this weekend. And if you already have big plans, San Diego County officials suggest you take the next few days to make some big adjustments. News 8's Lamore Abrams has more on the measures being taken to stop the large celebrations and slow down the spread of the coronavirus.
For now, officials say beaches here in San Diego will likely remain open for the 4th, but with beaches in LA closing for the holiday and new restrictions just announced in Arizona, law enforcement agencies here plan to crack down.
So I kind of feel like everything, like 4th of July, is kind of canceled this year.
And if you felt otherwise,
this year we simply cannot celebrate July 4th as we've done in the past.
There's your official confirmation.
There are numerous reports of gatherings at people's homes and backyards resulting in COVID-19 outbreaks. No barbecue is worth that.
Officials plan to work with law enforcement to make sure holiday crowds are limited to household members only. But it remains unclear how far those enforcements will go.
We're going to reach out to the cities and assess their level of comfort in being able to enforce the physical distancing requirements of the beaches.
They say they're more worried about indoor gatherings.
We're planning on going over to Brian's house and just watching some fireworks on a projector.
Yeah, we've been around these people for a couple weeks now.
Health officials say those types of COVID bubbles are kosher, but more concerning are out-of-town visitors. New numbers show 16 people from Arizona have tested positive for coronavirus while in San Diego.
7 of those were actually in the last week, so that's an important thing.
As of Monday, Arizona businesses will be closing shop again, everything from gyms to water parks.
We want to slow the spread of this. We want to stop the spread.
Los Angeles following suit, ordering all beaches to close for the holiday weekend.
This train can be a runaway train if we don't put the brakes on it.
Jimmy De La Rosa thought he'd at the very least be able to entertain on the Venice Boardwalk.
Well, guess I'm not doing anything for 4th of July.
Again, beaches here in San Diego are expected to remain open for the holiday weekend, but officials say things are changing daily as new COVID numbers come in.
Thank you, Lamore. We invite you to stay home and stay safe by joining us for the only live televised legal fireworks show in San Diego. The CW San Diego celebrates the 4th, can be seen at 9 p.m. on the 4th of July right here on the CW from the comfort of your couch. We hope you'll join us.
National City is ramping up its fight against the spread of coronavirus. Tomorrow, the city will open up its 5th testing site at the Kimball Senior Center on D Avenue. Testing is free, but appointments are required. Other testing sites in National City include San Isidro Health on 12th Avenue, Samahan Clinic on Highland Avenue, San Diego County on West 18th, and Paradise Valley Hospital 1 East 4th Street. San Diego City Council President Georgette Gomez is calling for the city's eviction moratorium to be extended through September. The ban is set to expire tomorrow. Gomez says renters and small businesses are still suffering financially because of the pandemic, and they need help.
The least we can do is at least protect people from getting evicted because of the lack of resources that they currently have. And then take it from there. I mean, all levels of government need to step up.
Under the moratorium, renters cannot be evicted if they notify their landlord in writing on or before the day rent is due. City Council will take up the issue tomorrow.
A reminder for those who still haven't paid their property taxes. After tomorrow, bills will go into default and incur heavier penalties. Those who missed the April deadline have already been hit with a 10% penalty. Once it's in default, the interest rate goes up to 18% a year until the debt is paid. The county treasurer will waive the 10% penalty if you can prove you were impacted by COVID-19. New controversy tonight in the Sweetwater Union School District involving the removal of a principal by a new superintendent, Moises Aguirre. The district says the transfer of Chula Vista High principal Mary Rose Peralta to a middle school was routine. But longtime teacher Tom Hassey says it's all because of a graduation event last month. Seniors' names were drawn on the football field and the students were allowed to take photos. This, he says, upset parents at other schools.
He claims that he got phone calls because Chula Vista High School did something that was creative for the kids.
In a statement, the district said in part, quote, "It is not uncommon for the district to make similar moves at the start of a new school year in the best interest of our school communities." News 8 reached out to Principal Peralta by email, but we haven't heard back.